What's up, guys? It's TCM MarkyB here, and today I'm going to be talking about the Gfinity Pro League. The Gfinity Pro League is something that Gfinity actually brought out for us, the players of the top teams of European Call of Duty. They kind of put forward the idea to have a sort of league, something to play for during the sort of off-season as such, where there's not many tournaments in the next month. I think it's also a little tester for them. It's quite similar to the sort of way LCS works, as far as I'm aware. Obviously, but this has been played online. Each team plays against each other once. The team who wins the most games wins the tournament. I mean, obviously, if it's a drawn game wins, it goes down to map difference, which obviously is massive. So, right now, as of now, we've only played 3 matches of the Gfinity tournament. One of which, the first match was against SK. We just came back from I-Series. We'd played in SK on numerous occasions, and we kind of took them a bit lightly. We were 2 up in the series, and I think we just there was numerous things that started going wrong for us. I don't feel that we took it seriously. Like little things like we just didn't change our classes for the next Blitz and things like that. And like for example, the way we've been playing Blitz on a specific map, I don't really want to go into too many details just in case it gives anything away. But the way we've been playing Blitz on a specific map, meant we needed to have set classes, and Gunji didn't have those classes, so we were kind of down in that aspect. And then Flux's connection started acting up. So Flux was playing Red Bar, so we were essentially playing with 3 players on Blitz, and then one of those players was also running in the completely wrong classes, so it didn't really help out as much for the team, because usually Gunji runs an SMG on that map. So Gunji had no SMGs on, so we had 2 SMGs pushing the Blitz flag, 1 AR, who obviously does still contribute, but they're on freight. You don't contribute as much with an AR at all. You're unable to kind of sprint and get in amongst their faces as quick as possible. So I mean, it's not ideal. And then obviously you had Flux making 0 kills because he was on Red Bar, and I mean I suppose he was a number on the board, a number on the team, and he did sort of contribute in a way. But I mean, we weren't really focusing at all. We were sitting there just kind of like pissing around. Our comms were pretty bad. We lost that map, fair play. And then 4th map, problems again, connection problems. I mean, I think Flux disconnected at one point in this game, but because it was domination, it was unable to be ended, which is unfortunate. We ended up going to lose that map. Last map, we've just lost 2 back-to-back maps due to reasons we feel are kind of bullshit. It's like, we're a sort of team, we don't never get frustrated if we lose a map fair and square. Like if we lose a map legit, we're just focused on the next map. One of our little problems is if some little this happens to the majority of people. If they lose just due to a way they feel, it's completely unfair. It's hard to really. Obviously, we did try and keep our minds on it, and I mean we didn't really mention the previous games, but when you're pissed off, it seems like things just don't go your way. And they're obviously hyped after coming back. They ended up taking the last map S&D. I think it was 6-4, 6-3. I'm not quite sure, but so they won the series 3-2. We were a bit gutted about that. We kind of aimed to win every single game. Then 2nd match of the Pro League, we ended up having to forfeit. So because Flux couldn't fulfill the fixture just simply due to having uni work which we obviously understand that's more important than the tournament. So I mean, Flux had to finish his uni assignments because we'd been scrimming for MLG. We went away to MLG. He had 3 days back, and then we went to I-Series, and then he went home for his family's birthday, and he'd been home since then. And then he came back to uni, and he had like 3 days doing this, like 2 3,000 word essays, and I mean, I think he stayed up till 7 AM on the night before, like the night it was due, like doing this essay. Like on the night we were supposed to be playing, he was literally at the library. Like I think it was a sort of 24-hour library doing I'm not quite sure actually, but I think he was out up till 7 AM doing his essay, which is crazy. And obviously he was unable to play the tournament, which we completely understood. But unfortunately, it resulted in as a forfeit, which kind of put us in a really bad position, really bad position. And now tonight we played against Epsilon. We won 3-1, which was like us and Epsilon have probably got the biggest rivalry going right now in Europe. They're like on it, like I know obviously teams like SK Aware and stuff, they're always going to be like up there beating us and Epsilon probably, but I feel like right now us and Epsilon are probably the best two teams in Europe. Like, and that's, I don't want to sound like a knob there, but I think a lot of people could agree. And I mean Epsilon are such a sick team, and like from when I play Epsilon, like we get this a sort of, obviously I'm sure it's the same way around for them. Like we kind of both want to beat each other real bad. It's sort of like friendly rivalry. We're all good friends in and out of the game, but at the same time we hate each other's guts in game. We want to beat the fuck out of each other, and that's the case with Epsilon. And I mean we beat Epsilon 3-1 tonight. It was a pretty close series throughout. I mean domination really close. S&D domination was on for 8. No, it wasn't because that was S&D. Domination was on Strike Zone. Strike Zone's a map that we actually, if we played it like once or twice before MLG, yeah, and we lost it both times. So into MLG, we vetoed it every single game. Every single game we vetoed it. Came back from MLG, we've not lost it once. It's just ridiculous. We kind of wonder like, if we'd not vetoed it, and well, to be fair, we won every single Doma bar one, which we lost by 1 point MLG. So then again, you can't really say that. So I was gonna say maybe we could have done better, but we won near enough every domination anyway. So I suppose that wasn't really a factor. But like I said, going into it, we vetoed Strike Zone, and then now it's seemingly our most consistent map. But obviously things can change. Maybe we've just been going through a hot patch on the map, just getting lucky. I'd like to play more and learn more about the map because it's still a bit confusing to me. I feel like it's just about trading flags and shit like that. I don't really know definitive spawns. Well, you kind of do, but I don't know like definitively where someone's going to be. It's kind of like, oh, I think he might be here, so I'm going to check here. I don't know definitively where they're going to be, which is a bit unfortunate, but you can't really do it about it. Strike Zone feels like a bit of a random map. At the same time, we won that map. Then we went on to win Freight S&D 6-4. We lost the Blitz. We tried to switch up how we were playing on this Blitz. We played a little like defensive, because obviously Epsilon, we thought they were going to play 2 ARs, which they did on the second side, but on the first side they came out as quite fast, pure aggression, and they got a slight lead. And then the second side they played it really good. Madcat and Swanee just kind of posting up with ARs. Sitting in a few dirty corners here and there, not going to lie. Swanee sat in some interesting spots outside Diner, just like sitting outside the window, kind of looking across. I mean, it's quite a good spot when you think about it, because they have to cross his line of sight to get to mid-map. To go anywhere, they need to cross his line of sight, so it's an ideal spot, but it's one of those spots that if you get killed, if you kill someone in that spot, then you're going to get cleaned up near enough straight away if there's someone nearby, so it's not really a place that I would immediately go to. But sometimes that sort of play can catch you off guard, and if there's not someone to trade the kill, then you're kind of screwed because they can just run into Diner, run back to Blue Bin, whatever, just navigate around the map, and that's what they did, and they beat us on that map by 4 or 5 points. Not quite sure. It might have been close actually. I can't really remember. And then last map, domination. We went on to win. I'm not quite sure of the margin, but I think we won pretty comfortably. I mean, we've always been quite good in domination throughout starting this team. I think we've just got the right balance of aggression, and when not to be aggressive. And sometimes I feel like we do the majority and know when to turn up the aggression and when to be defensive. But sometimes, the probably severe, like I'm just picky, severely less than other teams. We do like turn it down at the wrong times, if that makes sense. But I think for the majority of the time, we know when to be aggressive, when to be defensive, things like that. We're quite good at that. Obviously, we've got players like myself who can run an SMG and be like super aggressive, and then I can just put an AR and just sit back. I'm pretty versatile in that respect. And we've also got Gunchi, who's got his new lease of life in his SMG. He seems to love SMG, and he's always like, I'm going to rush in this round on S&D, lads. I'm like, whoa, calm down, Gunchi. Usually you sit at the back, just holding your trigger in. No, I'm joking, but yeah, he has found a sort of new lease of life in the MTAR. I think he thought SMG was going to be really difficult for some reason. I'm not quite sure why, but he pulled it out and he's been doing sick. Some maps are on 4 SMGs on Domo, it's just constant aggression. Like Strike Zone, for example, I really feel it's a 4SMG map. Obviously, it's really small. There's a few long ranges of sight, and there's a few positions that you can kind of position yourself with an AR. There's times to pull them out, there's times not to pull them out. But I feel like it's a mainly AR SMG dominated map. So that means we're 2-1, 1-2. Sorry, like we've lost twice. We've won one game in the tournament. Next up, we've got MYM/Infused. They've recently joined the Infused organisation. I'm pretty confident going against them. I've played against them before, not in a tournament setting actually. This is our first time playing against them in a tournament. But Scriven, it's always been really close, so I expect a really close game from them. They're always a 6 squad, and I expect, like I said, a really close game. But yeah, that's the Gfinity Pro League update, and just talking about the Gfinity Pro League, you guys should really tune in, support Europe, support European COD, support Gfinity, who are going to be putting on massive tournaments, massive tournaments this year. They've got really big plans, great content from them. I mean, they've got the content team, a great content team, the likes of Bricey, Calvin, Trout, other casters like Chewy. I mean, every European caster's kind of been down there to do some content. But the main guys behind them doing content is Trout and Bricey, I believe. I think Bricey's just recently been hired by them. So congratulations to you, Bricey, if you're watching this video, which I severely doubt you will be. But if you are, congrats. And I'd like to see more content coming out from those guys. I mean, they've been doing good content so far. I like their kind of top plays of the week series that they record from their show matches and things like that. I like the pro scrims they're doing. I want them to continue to do that. I want them to continue to do the pro leagues. Obviously, there's a few problems that I think need to be addressed, but I think this is a tester and it's going to be successful. We can still win this tournament. Also, we can still win this pro league. We need to win our next 2 games and we need results to go our way, but we can still win. Obviously, it's a bit unfortunate if we don't. It's kind of like, well, if we hadn't forfeited that game against Vitality and if we hadn't fucked up against SK, I still really think we could have 5-0'd this whole thing. But right now we're sitting not pretty 1-2. So it is the way it is. It's online. I mean, we're good online. I'm not saying that. Just like problems come up online that can't be fixed like at LAN. That's what I mean to say. That's what I meant to say. It's not like any of those players are connection players or anything. It's nothing like that. I have a solid connection myself. But anyway, going forward, guys, I'm going to try and do as much content as possible. I keep saying this in every video. Try and do as many videos as possible, vlogs, whatever. So thanks a lot for watching, guys, and I'll see you all later. Peace out. Au revoir.